You neglected these nice guys for so long, but how is it fair for you to now say, okay, I like the gentleman?
But here, you're missing a key part to what I said, to that it comes with age. The nice guys when I was younger couldn't really do anything for me. They could be nice, but they couldn't, even like the mean guys, they probably couldn't do nothing for me either. But that's just what I was attracted to when I was younger. Now that I'm at an age where I'm transitioning to a point where it's like, I don't want that. And especially I'm at an age where guys can do a little bit more. I don't want a guy that's gonna be mean to me, treat me like he can talk to me any kind of way. Matter of fact, call me the B word, because like men like to do that these days. I don't know what that's about. Call me the B word, call me everything but a child of God.
What's happening? She wants a simp, pimp, and or husband, right? So this has been going on for so many years on social media, where you have a certain type of women on social media spewing this type of rhetoric. And I've seen it where, you got women in their, let's just almost 50s to 20s, right? Saying this similar type of thing. So guys look at it, it's like, okay, so when he was nice to you, he was a simp. But then you got attracted to the bad boys who treated you like a pimp. And then now you need a soft life. So now you need a husband, right? And the problem with this is you want to graduate from this type of guy to that type of guy to this type of man, right? But you're going to be the same woman throughout, selfish throughout, opportunistic throughout. In some ways, selling your body throughout. But now, now it's time for me to get a man who will take care of me this way. And then people go, that's not necessarily really what's going on. And I'm going to do it in practice, right? The pattern has been, when you're younger and people aren't working and don't have money, let's just go teenagers. From teenagers to like early adulthood, people were trying to get together out of the love, but you wanted stuff. And sometimes those young men, kids to young men, can't give you the things that you quote unquote want. So you use them. They were nice to you. They did things for you. They cared about you, but you used them the whole time. You didn't really want to be with them. You used them. You disrespect. You took their kindness for weakness. And then at some point, how it transitioned from simp to pimp is, and this is where social media comes into play now. A lot of y'all are on social media basically saying, because I'm attractive, you should be able to buy me stuff, have me looking good and take me places to advertise me to other people who have more money than you, predominantly other men who have more money than you, so I can have the options of choosing on somebody else. So in essence, guys look at you like, oh, you looking for a pimp. You're looking to get pimped out because you want me to take you to this nice restaurant, but you advertising for the other guys in this restaurant. You want me to take you on this trip, but you on your social media page advertising this is the lifestyle, quote unquote. But this is look at the packaging that I'm in when I'm out of, I ain't gonna say necessarily out of the country, but when I'm on resorts. And these guys are with you and they realize, oh, okay, so now you're using me to find other quote unquote richer tricks. And some of y'all get in these situations where y'all say y'all get mad because the men didn't treat you right, or the men cheated on you, the men left you, the men did you dirty. But and that can be true. But you don't talk about the point where you're out here advertising to be with other men. So he took it as, okay, well, you for the streets. You getting these DMs, you getting these messages. Other people want you. You're looking for your options, and then some of you ladies get addicted to the options, and you wind up with nobody in a general sense. And then all of a sudden, it's like, yo, I'm marriage material. I'm a wife now. I need a husband to come take care of me. You now that my softcore prostitution career is coming to an end in my mind. And now I need to settle down and get with a man who is going to lock me down and give me the soft life I deserve by pimping myself out. And generally, guys are like, yo, well, you on your own with that. So then you have this backlash of, I am the table, and I'm a great catch and I'm a great person, and all these guys don't, they're beneath me. They really don't know what I am, and it becomes a situation where you wanted everything and wound up with nothing. You wanted to use the simp, you wanted to use the pimp, and you wanted to use the husband, and all three of those people, all three of those archetypes are different, but they all don't commit to disrespect. Simps take longer to cut people off. Pimps is going to be quote unquote toxic. And the husbands are just like, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, not my problem. So what you wind up with is an overflow of women in their mind claiming that they're wife material, but they advertise themselves on social media like prostitutes. They don't advertise themselves as a wife. They advertise themselves as I can love you long time kind of situation. So that's not what a quote unquote husband is looking for. I know people go, well, don't husbands want to be satisfied by their wives? It's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean, that's all you got. And now because because you get older and it starts dawning on you, you talk a big game, but all you have to offer is sex. And sex is supposed to be such a big deal that people are supposed to basically give up their life's work to sleep with you, even if you got somebody to the point where they married you. And you wind up in these situations where the guys look at it like, you don't do anything for me. You didn't do anything for the simp. You didn't do anything for the pimp. You didn't do anything for the husband. Or even, and husband is just, it's literal and figurative. Because what I mean is, the guy that you would accept settling down with, you don't do much for him either. So now we have an issue. You know what I mean? We have a huge issue in the quote unquote in the community, right? And that issue winds up being that you got so much of the same, nobody's gonna get picked because it's just the same mentality in different packaging. And unfortunately, everybody thinks they're special. And if somebody gets quote unquote picked or chosen, then it's a celebratory thing. But even with that, it's like, what are you going to do for this guy? And normally the answer is nothing. You know, so laziness is the consistent thing that goes across these situations, the situationships. So when you think like I'm entitled to a man who can put me in a good position in life and take care of me and make my life easier, but I'm just so accustomed to not really doing, not really doing much, little or nothing or the bare minimum for a man, but look at me, I'm cute. It's kind of like, you can have it. You know what I mean? You can have it. And it's like, what? Because the simp, normally the simp, and somehow became the husband because he was too nice at first. He was giving gifts and you didn't take him seriously at first. And then he went out into the world, grew up, and became quote unquote husband material. And now you want him. And it's like, back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Y'all all on me. But the guy that was in the middle, the pimp, um, that's a string of bad relationships. But you won't admit that you're complicit in the toxicity. So, but when people ask like, what are you looking for, or what's the pattern been? The pattern has been she wants a simp, a pimp, and then a husband, and that don't work out in the end of the day in that order whatsoever. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Tell me what you think. Peace.